Browns and Ravens, important game in the AFC North. That's Dillon Gabriel. Late in the second quarter with his Browns leading 13-10, he gets hit hard and he's going down and not coming back. Shefty, what do we know about Dillon Gabriel?
He is now in concussion protocol. He would have to clear through. Most quarterbacks don't, and that means Shedeur Sanders is in line to start Sunday against the Raiders.
He played the whole second half yesterday. It was exciting to see him get out on the field, and then it stopped being exciting almost immediately. Dan, what happens here?
Yeah, probably the first time he's ever seen a pressure like this. One of the more exotic Baltimore throws, pressure up, droppers out. He gets hit. Ball sails, easy takeaway.
Tied at 16 in the fourth quarter. The Ravens had done almost nothing against this stout Cleveland defense. That was a third.
So good.
Myles Garrett had 4 sacks in this game, by the way. Brings up a fourth down play. Wrecks the creativity. Mark Andrews. Watch the snap.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Oh, there he goes. What a play call right here. Great play design.
On the day that Mark Andrews became the Ravens' all-time leading receiver, he rushed for his first NFL touchdown.
Dan, it's a great play. We're going to break it down a little bit later. Ravens take a 23-16 lead. Ensuing Browns drive. Shedeur Sanders. Danny, trouble.
Yeah, this is a reality once again. You're just seeing pressures and blitzes that you haven't seen before. He does a nice job evading that pressure, but then tries to communicate. Back corner, misses it, and then you get to 4th and 5. Another pressure, 3rd and 5.
Third down.
It's a good throw.
Yeah,
I mean, you would love to see this guy, wide receiver-wise, come down, but it's also a really good play by Wouzier in the end zone.
And that sets up the 4th down. Pay no attention to the fact that the Ravens are blatantly offsides because the refs didn't. And then Sanders looking for Njoku. It just wasn't there. Wyatt Teller frustrated, saying they clearly jumped offside. That doesn't get called. I don't know that they would have done anything anyway. Shedeur finishes 4 of 16, 47 yards and a pick. Ravens hang on for the win.
Losing isn't something I'm comfortable with at all. I got to take this one. I got to decompress. I got to understand, like, you know, this really happened, you know, on my watch. So I don't like the feeling. And I know offensively, if I'm able to get out there and have an opportunity, I know that I'll be able to take everything to a different level.
But that was obviously a mess in so many different ways, and it feels like a bit of an organizational failure. You don't need to have been a quarterback in the NFL to see that he didn't look ready to play at all. He has been the backup quarterback there for a while now, and it looked from the moment he ran out onto the field, it looked like they had no conceivable chance.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he saw things that he's never seen before when it comes to pressures, and he's felt speed that he's never felt before when it comes to Baltimore's defense. I know there's been a lot been made about no snaps or practice reps with the first team, the starters. I think that's more common than people anticipate. I would go weeks as the backup quarterback, weeks, if not months, without taking a single rep with our starting offense.
But you were sort of a seasoned veteran backup who was there for that reason because you didn't need snaps and they could throw you in case of trouble. This is a rookie who's never taken a snap in an NFL game.
It's also a rookie who's playing in front of him, who's only been playing for 6 games or so. So you're trying to get him ready. I don't think it's the perfect signs. Do I think it's odd that Shedeur hasn't had a single snap of practice rep? Yes. But I don't think it's something where everyone's making it out to be like, oh my gosh, he should be splitting the reps with Dillon Gabriel.
Splitting is maybe too strong a word. I hear what you're saying, but D. Wood, what was it you said about the offensive lineman when he came out there for the first time? They were hearing what? Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, I mean, hearing his cadence for the first time,
Teller,
Wyatt Teller, like I found that, like.
Coming out of halftime, it was the first time that their offensive line starting group had heard his cadence, which is
in a game.
That is very, very odd for something like that.
Yeah, we usually or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, usually, listen, as a backup, you would have maybe on a Friday you might get a couple. To have the starting offensive line not hear your cadence at all is very, very it's very strange. For the Cleveland Browns. I find that very odd.
Something there just doesn't seem right, Rex.
No, 100% it doesn't seem right. And look, here's the thing, and is it the kid or is it how you have treated this guy? Like, I don't know where the fine line is, but there's, I mean, certainly a disconnect. Like, when I see, like, this kid on the bench, this is after the game. Number one, it's not the 7th game of the World Series. You lost a game that nobody cares about, all right? And by the way, Lamar Jackson, a 2-time MVP, was looking for you. Like, go back in there, visit with Lamar or whatever, and then go back in with your teammates. Why is there such a disconnect here? Is it the kid's fault? Is it the organization's fault? I have no idea, all right? But I am going to say this. The only energy I saw in the entire stadium was when that kid popped on the field.
Right.
When Shedeur walked on the field, you know who was wanting to see him play?
The fans.
The dang fans. And you know who never cared? His teammates. What the hell is going on in Cleveland? Yeah. What is going on in Cleveland? And so to me, it's like, are you not giving this kid a chance from day one? Why the hell did you trade up for him in the first place?
Who's running
Or is
the
it
scout
something
team?
about the kid that you can't stand?
Who's
I
running
don't
the
know.
scout team? You know, how does the offensive line not have heard his cadence before?
Yeah.
We don't give him any reps in a walkthrough in a 7-on-7. It's odd. I
Well,
don't think he should be
obviously,
getting a
he's
gajillion
running
reps.
the scout team. You're a backup quarterback. Obviously, you would run the scout team, right?
So if he's running the scout team, how is the offensive line not heard his cadence?
I don't know. Like, maybe he's not. Like, hell, maybe he's not. I don't know.
Just to
But
go back to
that would even be stranger. If this kid's not running the scout team, that would blow me away. He's a backup
But just to
quarterback.
go back, he hadn't taken a snap. Going back to training camp with the starting offense, all the work went to Joe Flacco.
Sure.
It went to Kenny Pickett. It went to Dylan Gabriel. It never went to Shedeur Sanders. So that when he stepped onto the field for the first time yesterday, this is the first time they're hearing his cadence. He's playing behind that line.
Why did you trade up for him? Why in the hell did you trade up for this guy if you have you're not going to play him? I don't understand that. Why the hell would you trade up for a player you're going to give no chance to? Makes no sense.
That's the way it felt. And for any of you who didn't get to see the game, because it was on up against Kansas City and Denver and whatever else it is, it looked hopeless. I mean, it literally looked, and their defense played so well.
Yeah.
Carry Myles Garrett off the field on a shield after that game. He was unbelievable in that game, and they had no chance. So that's the situation in that division. The Ravens move within, or stay within a game of the Steelers, who earlier in the day had won their game, but there's a significant moment in this between the Steelers and the Bengals. Schefter, we see Aaron Rodgers leave the game. What can you tell us about his wrist?
There is a slight break in his left wrist. Now, he's going to undergo further testing today to determine how extensive that break is, whether surgery is needed, which it certainly sounds like it could be. They'd have to put in a screw, a steel plate, whatever it is. They don't believe right now that he'll be sidelined too long, but the question is how long, and in the interim, it certainly seems like Mason Rudolph is going to wind up starting this Sunday against the first-place Chicago Bears.
Now, I mean, look, Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest players of all time. When he gets back, it's his job. And sometimes weird things happen. But yesterday was just the opposite of the Cleveland game. When Mason Rudolph came into the game, there he is. There's a seasoned backup who knows what he's doing. Their offense, I actually thought, looked pretty good.
I actually thought the offense looked better once Mason Rudolph went into the football game. I think the one thing that stood out was the willingness, the ability to throw the ball downfield. I mean, that's something that this offense just does not do right now with Aaron. And when Mason Rudolph went in there was much more chunk, explosive, throw the ball past 10, 15 yards downfield. So, and I know it's the Bengals defense. The touches to Gainwell were great. So I think if you're the Steelers, I'm not sitting here telling everybody that Mason Rudolph is Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think you're sitting there completely worried that Mason Rudolph potentially has to play, because I think your offense looked better yesterday than it did with Aaron.
It was interesting to me, Dan, you make a point about how the ball went down the field.
Went down the field more.
All right. Aaron Rodgers, in 20 years, there's only been 2 quarterbacks in the history in that last 20 years that have only had 30% of their throws, less than 30% of their throws, go to the sticks. And Aaron Rodgers is one of them. So to your point about them pushing it down the field with Mason Rudolph is interesting to me.
I think a lot of that has to do with when you're old, you don't want to get hit, and you get rid of the football.
I don't want to get hit, I can assure you.
You don't want to get hit.
You see their schedule. They play the Bears, then they've got Buffalo and the Ravens in back-to-back weeks. That little stretch there will probably decide or go a long way towards deciding what happens to them in the division. Meanwhile, there's a sort of awful moment, there's an awful moment that takes place in this game. You may have seen, that's Jamar Chase there, blatantly spitting on Jalen Ramsey. Now, Ramsey winds up getting thrown out of this game for then throwing punches. And the word apparently spit on him is what is being used in the news stories. As you watch that tape, there is no apparently about it whatsoever. Jamar Chase clearly spits on Jalen Ramsey, and afterwards, this was a bit of the conversation.
he spit on me, so it's up. I don't give a about football after that, respectfully. I'm always going to be all for trash talking, stuff like that. I actually enjoy that part of the game. I think people know that. We was talking for real, which I'm cool with. And then, yeah, as soon as he spit, it was that.
He was saying that you spit on him. Did you spit on him?
I ain't never opened my mouth to that guy.
What do you think prompted the reaction from him?
Well, he don't like some of the words I told him. We've been going back and forth the whole time, so I'm sure some got under his skin.
Just to be clear, you did not spit on him at all. That's what he's saying.
I ain't spit on nobody.
Okay, so, I mean, the reality is, I mean, I don't want to sit here calling him a liar, but, I mean, we've shown you the video. We can show it again here. It certainly looks clear as can possibly be. We'll show it one more time. It's a little gross for breakfast in the morning, but you see, there's very little question about what happened there. Schefter, what can you tell us?
Well, look, the league has made sportsmanship a point of emphasis during the offseason. And if we go back to the opening game, there was precedent. Jalen Carter spit on Dak Prescott to open the season. The NFL wasted no time. It threw him out of the game. So it set a baseline right there saying that if you spit on somebody, which is a demeaning, disgraceful act, then you're going to be suspended for one game. In this particular case, we saw what happened on the video. I'm going to guess that Jamar Chase had no idea that video could capture what he actually did, because when you watch that video, you can see saliva coming out of his mouth. The NFL is looking into the matter, and I think here it is again, one last time. He says he didn't spit.
He would.
Video doesn't lie. I would expect today the league to make a ruling, and based on that video, I would expect that he's going to be suspended one game.
A reminder, people will say Jalen Carter didn't get suspended. He got thrown out literally the first play of the game, so he missed an entire game. In this case, this happened in the fourth quarter. So if you're going to have a similar penalty, it would be to suspend him for the next game. And D. Wood, again, as one who played in the league as long as you did, can you just describe for the audience the degree of disrespect that entails?
It's the most disrespectful thing that you could do to another man is spit on somebody. And so Jalen Ramsey is absolutely right. Like, trash talking, like guys trash talk, we do that, but you spit on me, it's on. Yet, not only am I going to see you on the field, I might have to come see you in the locker room as well, because that is unacceptable for Jamar Chase. And I'm going to correct you, Greeny.
Yeah.
He is a liar.
Okay.
He is a liar.
Fair enough.
Because you knew you did it, okay? And Jalen Ramsey was in his right to go out there and have the type of reaction that he had, because that is just totally BS.